Good day, carbon clumps. I'm Melvin, from the glorious planet of Soralunia, and this is the Quick 50. Let's get right to it, before you get distracted by something shiny. And go! With which sport is Babe Ruth associated? Baseball. Perfecto, torpedo, and parejo are all shapes of what? Cigars. How many different falling pieces are there in the game Tetris? Seven. Who sang Umbrella in 2007? Rihanna. What hugely popular music genre, characterized by artists like the Bee Gees and Donna Summer, peaked in the late 1970s? Disco. Which animal's tail hair is traditionally used to make violin bows? Horses. Ed Sheeran's 2017 song Shape of You broke the record for the most streamed song on what platform? Spotify. Who lost part of his ear to the teeth of Mike Tyson in 1997? Evander Holyfield. At which university was the beverage Gatorade developed? University of Florida. What does the abbreviation NATO stand for? North Atlantic Treaty Organization. What is the official brand of baseballs used in the major leagues? Rawlings. Ronald Reagan made headlines in 1980 for claiming that 80% of air pollution comes from what? Trees. What was the first European country to ban smoking in bars? Ireland. Who wrote the best-selling 1988 novel A Brief History of Time? Stephen Hawking. Which 2023 atmospheric phenomenon appeared more frequently due to solar activity? Aurora Borealis. Northern Lights. Which voice assistant is built into Amazon devices? Alexa. Which boy band released I Want It That Way in 1999? Backstreet Boys. Which popular 1960s American car was affectionately known as the Goat? Pontiac GTO. What popular destination helped popularize hot dogs in the US in the 19th century? Coney Island. Which car manufacturer was the first to introduce front-wheel drive in 1934? Citroën. Nephalococcygia is the practice of doing what? Finding shapes in clouds. Which country were the 2010 Winter Olympic Games held in? Canada. What is the chemical symbol for iron? Fe. Which online encyclopedia launched in 2001? Wikipedia. Which numbers are either side of the number 16 on a dartboard? Seven and 8. People with a lot of hair are said to suffer from what? Hypertrichosis. What food product calls itself the snack that smiles back? Goldfish crackers. What Boston Celtics legend was born in French Lick, Indiana? Larry Bird. How many volts can an electric eel generate? Up to 860. How many legs does a lobster have? Ten. Which UK boy band, featuring Robbie Williams and Gary Barlow, reunited in 2006? Take That. What is the official name for a blob of toothpaste on a toothbrush? Nurdle. What was the highest grossing film of 2023? Barbie. What team won the NBA championship in 2022? Golden State Warriors. When was the first iPod released? – 2001. Aside from the Nile, what is the longest river in the world? The Amazon. What town is the birthplace of Taylor Swift? West Reading, Pennsylvania. When was the first Indy 500 held? (1911). Which astronomer is called out in Bohemian Rhapsody? Galileo. Who became the first African American to be elected governor of a U.S. state, Virginia, in 1989? L. Douglas Wilder. What style of beer is used to make a black velvet cocktail? Stout. Which album by Pink Floyd features a prism refracting light on its cover? The Dark Side of the Moon. On average, which grows faster, fingernails or toenails? Fingernails. What country uses approximately 4 billion miles of toilet paper each year? China. What is the most disliked food in America? Liver, followed by anchovies. Which iconic TV show featured characters like Archie and Edith Bunker? All in the Family. The arch in St. Louis is formally called what? Gateway Arch. And how tall is the Gateway Arch? – 630 feet. How many noses does a slug have? Not human-like noses, but 4 sensory tentacles. Jambon is the French word for what food? Ham. That's all for today's trivia, Meat Monkeys. If your brain didn't melt completely, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and pray you're smarter in the next round. Thanks again for playing. We do appreciate you here. Really, we do. Melvin, out. Before you scuttle off to your earthly distractions, may I suggest indulging in one more of my mind-melting masterpieces? You're welcome.